Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are ready to get started with Home on the Range. If you don't live on the range, you can pretend today, and you'll end up feeling very cowboy-like at the end of this. Let's see. Let me put the link onto our website. The website's jollyrogerukulele.com. And we will get that link going so everybody can come and get settled in and knock this thing out. This is my favorite arrangement of all of the songs we do in Foundations class. I just think the thing really flows out of a ukulele really quite lovely. And so make sure the link is working properly. Is so we'll wait just a minute, and while those guys load in, I'll go put this over on Twitter. Baritone 22 jollyrogerukulele.com is our website. It pops up and I hit tweet, and there's that. All right, so there we go. Twitter's up to date. YouTube is underway. I'm using two different cameras now. So this is the wide camera, and it ends up showing you the microphone, which is not supposed to. It's supposed to be a secret that I use the microphones. And then let's see what else is going on today. Missed yesterday, got my second vaccine, and so feels like I'm still having some lingering effects. So I can't get my voice to work right, which is fine for most people. And then just these lessons today are taking a whole lot more energy than they usually do. So I think that sort of lingering effects of the virus floating around in my body is what's going on here. In any event, we're going to make it through Home on the Range today, and so grab that up. Let's get started on that. Home on the Range ukulele. We start with ukulele. I am planning after class today to go over to my studio, which I don't get to very often anymore. I haven't been going to, mostly because I was afraid of dying, and I'm going to get some new strings put onto my ukulele and to my baritone so that they sound a little less horrible. Ongoing discussion about strings. I have used basically every name brand of string out there. At the end of the day, nothing seems to bring out the best in your ukulele better than just straight up fluorocarbon. And the challenge with fluorocarbon is if you play every day, it's going to go bad after about 6 months, 9 months. If you don't play every day, it's going to go bad after about a year, no matter what you do. So you do have to change your strings regularly, but it sounds so much better than all the other materials that they use on a ukulele that it's worth it. You just have to change the strings once a year, and that's what we do. When people come to the shop, I either use Martin strings or Savara's strings, and then I also buy string, just plain old fishing line that's fluorocarbon. It's meant for tarpon fishing, and I will chop that up on my own ukuleles and use that. And it's perfectly fine. So yeah. So all right, let's talk Home on the Range. I do have a couple of not really. There was one typo, and then there's a couple of possible changes you may want to work in. Hey, Vic. Sound is good. Sunny in Eugene. Yay. Sunny up there. We're having kind of a crummy day today here. It's not been much of anything, and then it just, apparently we're going to get rain all afternoon is what we're getting. We're not used to rain here in Colorado. We get nervous. Mary, thank you. Hope I'm having better. I am having a much better day, but I don't have a headache. I don't feel all sore and weird. My voice doesn't seem to want to work right, and I'm getting a little bit pooped out from these lessons today. So, yeah, still working. It's still doing its magic inside of me, I hope. Nancy, glad to see I did survive that second shot. Take on the world. Yes, we are ready now to go back outside of the house. So take a moment to grab, if you are looking at the Home on the Range ukulele music at measure 4, I'm going to retype this page up and I'm going to put a C minor here, and that is 0333. And so it sounds better with the C minor there. So at measure 4, if you'll change that to C minor and then just put yourself with 2 dots right above, you normally put your C chord here. Just put dots for 2nd string and 3rd string, and you'll get a little bit more sophisticated sound there. Same exact note at measure 12. So go ahead and do that. And then the same exact note happens at measure 28. So all of those should be C minor. The baritone piece is right, but this is an older version of this that I have, that I pulled up. I keep meaning to change it on the list, and I keep forgetting. So maybe this week will be the week I change it. The other typo, measure 16. You'll see it says 3 and then a tie, and then it goes to nothing, and then there's a 0 way down on the bottom. So one of the things that sometimes we neglect as ukulele players, this G note that we always use on the 3 also exists up here on this top string. So Gary, why don't we use that G instead of this G? Because normally when you're playing, you want the notes that you're working on to be as close to your chord as possible. When you hold a G chord, this is already being held down, and with this string is actually very far away from the action, and so we very, very, very rarely use the 4th string in melody play for anything. We use it in strumming to bring up some brightness and some excitement. June 27, 2020 is correct. Oh, did I update it on the website? Maybe I updated it. Let's see, June 27, 2020. Oh, I do. I'm busy explaining to you mistakes that are not mistakes. 16, the 16, measure 16 is still a mistake. Okay, thanks. I'm using the March 25th version. That's why. So yeah. So I have the even older version, and I still didn't fix 16. What the heck? All right, I'll get that cleaned up this week, you guys. I apologize. Yeah, thanks, Linda. Yeah, I just got to fix that typo at 16. That's so dumb. But what happens when on sheet music software, if it can understand ukulele at all, which most of them cannot, they want to put, anytime you have a G note, they want to put it on this string because you can get it to the lowest spot. The problem is as you arrange for ukulele long enough, you know that you really don't want to use anything on that 4th string. Plus, if you arrange something on the 4th string and then you switch to a low G ukulele, it no longer works like that. So if you don't use the 4th string, you can arrange for low G and high G at the same time. And so that's why you won't see really me using any 4th string stuff, except for strumming. Obviously, when you're strumming, then we will use that every time. So, all right, Home on the Range. Let's go through the chords and see how we're going to do. Now, remember, we're in 3 beats per measure. So while it looks like, oh, give me a home, but you're not going to do that. You're going to have one chord for one beat. This is one of the reasons why we talk about the chords on this, because there's lots of chords where you're only on it for one beat, and so you got to learn a little bit more. Hopefully your G skill set is coming around where it's within reason. Okay, so let's sing through it real quick. Oh, give me a home. I have to sneeze. Sorry. Where the buffalo, and then here's where your C minor is, roam, and the deer and the antelope play, and another measure that, where seldom is heard a discouraging C minor, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Another G chord and another G chord. Home on the range, where the, now this is maybe a new chord to you. Index finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, then make a little stair step. When I was starting ukulele, this chord drove me bananas. I could not get it on at all. Okay, so get that on. Where the deer and the antelope. Page 2. Play. And another D7. Then G chord. Where seldom is heard. And you notice how easy that motion is. You're on G, and then these two fingers jump right up, get the D7, and then jump right back. Heard a discouraging minor sharp word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Okay, so those of you guys, most people that are of a certain age know this song. If you don't know the song, it's the state song of Kansas. And so everybody knows somebody from Kansas. Nobody stays in Kansas. They always all move out. And Rob is here. He's from Texas. It's pretty close. 75 and cloudy. Good to see you back. Yeah, it's good to be back, Rob. Feeling much better than yesterday and much better than the day before. Still not 100%, but we're getting through it. All right, so those are your chords. I would play that. I would go ahead and play that with singing, and even if you're a terrible singer, just to get practice of going G, D7, G. That's going to come up in your life. Let's play the melody. 1, 2. Pinky. 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Pinky. 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. Repeat. Okay, so and then the second time through, don't play 31 and 32. You skip those. Second time through, you come through, play to 30, and then jump to the end. All right, so the melody is all 2s, 3s, and 5s. That goes right back to this to Amazing Grace. It was all 2, 3s, and 5s. Makes the most sense to play something like that in second position, and theoretically, minimize motion. If you just play the whole thing in second position, really your hand's going to be able to just hang out above there. Should be able to make an easy work of that melody. And of course, if you're Mary, you're on baritone, right? And she's busy just hammering out those chords to back us up, and we're sounding amazing. So in a duet situation, if you can play the melody, you talk to one of your ukulele friends, guitar friends, piano friends, banjo friends, they do the chords, and all of a sudden you've got something that's really fun to play together. And every musician that's spent any time on any instrument would know all of these chords. These are not particularly unusual chords. Really nice piece of music, to be honest. Valerie, oh my, had a senior moment and kept trying to get in on Tough Uke. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I know. The website makes perfect sense when you think about it, but sometimes you get in a hurry and you're like, I don't have any idea where we're at. There's just so much information on there, and I don't know how to clean that up. Still eating hard candy. Rob's over there with. I need Rob to take my harmonica class, because in a harmonica class, your first job is to wash your hands. instead of having sugary sugary hard candy fingers. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So where are we at? Rob distracted me with his crazy. Home on the Range. Back when I taught high school, it only took one kid to be like, "Well, Mr. Ugert, what do you think of this?" And then 20 minutes later, I'd be like, "Who got us off topic? They did it all the time on purpose." I'm that professor, right? Blah blah blah. Random thought. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wait. We're supposed to be talking about Home on the Range. All right. Let's grab your G chord. We're going to walk through the tough uke, and then we'll play it a couple times. Okay? So grab your G chord. You're already holding down the 2. Play that. And the other 2. You're already holding down the 3. You got an open note. So you just got to lift up your or your middle finger to get the 0. And then a G chord. 0, 2, 3, 2. Okay? And then 3, 2. That's your already holding down on your ring finger. I would just slide back the 2 and then get the 3 zeros, the C chord. And here it's where you want that minor, 0, 3, 3, 3. And that sound cool? Then 2, 3. Okay. G chord to 0, 2, 3, 2, but you're going to add your pinky to get the 5. And the 3s you're already holding down. And then slide your index finger back to the 1, so now you're on 0, 1, 3. Slide your ring finger back to the 2, and then back up to the 3. And then put your regular D7 chord on, 2, 0, 2, 0, strum. Now this is a little deceiving. You see that 2 and you think you're already holding it down, but you're not. You got to drop your index finger down to the 3rd string, get that 2. While you're putting your G chord back on, because then you can play measure 9, 2, 3, middle finger up to get the 0, and then right back down to get a full G chord. Then 3 and 2, slide your ring finger back to the 2, open it up, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 0, 3, 2 C chords, and then a beautiful C minor. 2 more 3s, measure 13, 0, 2, 3, 2, that's a G chord, that should start to being the thing, and then 0, 3, 2, 0, 2, ring finger on the 3, 1st string's already open, and then a G chord at 15, 2, 3, 2, and notice for all these decorative notes, nothing changes in your left hand, right? You're holding that G chord, all those decorative notes. That's a skill that you will come to get really comfy with as you become more comfortable with just playing music in general, is that anytime you have a long note like that, that's really 6 beats of melody going on there. You're going to find time to just start plucking strings. As long as you're holding the chord, it'll always sound great. Okay? Measure 17, 0, 2, 3, 2, that's your G chord, but you got a 5 for the pinky on your pinky, so strum that. And the 2 and 3 are decorative. Bar on 2, middle finger on 3. Now notice that D7 shape is different than the one up above at measure 18. That's going to happen as you guys get into more complex music, is sometimes the chord shape for singing it looks different than the chord shape for playing it instrumentally. And this is one of those moments where if you're singing this, you're going to use the open D7, but if you're playing it instrumentally, you're going to use the closed D7 because your melody note is right there. Okay, so we'll use that. Lift up your middle finger and just leave your bar on, and now you get the 2, and then open up and measure 19 is your G chord, 0, 2, 3, 2, strum that. 2, 2. Here's the hardest part of the song, I think. Grab your E minor, 0, 4, 3. That's what you're holding when you're holding your E minor. Strum that 3 times. Now, don't move your middle finger. Just move your ring finger up over to the 1, 0, 1, 3. Now pull your middle finger back to the 2. Push it back up to the 3. And then you're on to page 2, where you do get a normal D7. Drop your index finger to get this 2. Put your G chord on. Middle finger up, middle finger down. 3, 2. Some zeros. 2 C chords. And then the C minor. G chord at measure 29, 0, 2, 3, 2. Middle finger up to get the 0. 3's already down. And then regular D7, 2, 0, 2. Rest stroke there. Ring finger on 3. Open. And then a G chord. That note, that's your pickup to turn around and go back to the beginning of the song. And then the second time you come through, you at the end of measure 30, jump to 33, where you have the same basic beginning. And then, so take a minute to learn where your 10 is, because you want to get that clean. And then give it a little bit of a vibrato, and I think you'll end up with a really cool ending. Well, I have one guy in the guitar orchestra, and that he feels like it's his job. At the end of every song, he finds the high note. We always laugh. It's funny. Let's see. Strictly plant-based, however, trying to stay healthy. Yeah, strictly plant-based candy. Yeah, according to conservative media, the current administration is going to outlaw eating beef. It's kind of a hilarious discussion online. I gave up beef years and years and years ago. We still eat chicken and fish. But every now and then you have to have a hamburger, right? And it's like, oh my gosh. But honestly, we eat about 5,000 pounds more of that than we should all the time. All right. You guys ready? Let's make the whole thing. Baritone players, back us up with just some beautiful, sweet chord strumming. Okay? Guys, I'm going to attack this with the claw, but you guys should probably attack it with your thumb. And let's make this thing happen. Let's do it 2 times through, then we'll play baritone. Then we'll be done for the day. 1, 2. The top. hit that 10, give your finger a little wiggle, okay, to finish it up. I did leave the 10 on your version, I hope. Let me make sure I did. Sometimes I take those off because they're silly. No, I left it on there. So just give your finger just a little wiggle, and it'll make it sound nice. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Where do we leave off? Rob was busy giving me trouble about it. Candy, Mary G. I love that E minor at 21. Don't you? It's fascinating to me. Everybody has something when they're learning an instrument that just gives them fits. And for some reason, I think 100% of my students, I say, all right, here's how you make an E minor. And they go plunk, and it's on. No problem. I fought E minor as a student. Like on guitar, I can play all the bar chords. I'm not too worried about those. But C chord drives me bananas on guitar. I don't know why. And it's these chords that feel stretched out, I think, is where my challenge is. But when you get there in this piece, it just for this brief moment creates this whole level of complexity that's really, really nice. And Mary is accompanying us, right? So she's got a different shape on hers. Her E minor is actually really easy to do and really beautiful with that deep tonality of the baritone. All right, guys, we're almost done. Can you believe that? So we're at that level where things start to go a little faster in the sense that you've been through everything. You've been through the main instructional stuff. Now it's really about song strategy, right? And so with this piece, there's not a whole lot more I have to tell you about how to hold your hand, how to hold the ukulele, all that stuff. Now we're looking at song by song. How do we tackle these songs and make them the best that we can make them with the tools that we have? And so those lessons tend to go a tiny bit faster. Let's grab Home on the Range baritone version. All right, ukulele players, let's talk about your job here. You have a D chord. At this point, you may have that memorized. Okay, your A7 is just a third string first fret. Okay, your G minor is a little bit hard. So your G minor is index finger on the first string, middle finger, second fret, third string, and ring finger, second string, third fret. So that's your D minor right there. G minor, sorry. D chord, your E7. Here's another one that's not particularly pleasant. Index, middle, and ring. Okay. Index on one. This is from day 2 when we did the little strumming book. That's your E7 and A7 right there. D, A7, D, G, G minor. Okay, D, A7, D, D, and then more D, A7, D, A7. When you see that B minor show up on baritone, it looks like your E minor, but your B minor is a bar on 2 with your ring finger on 4. So what you're thinking about is, here's your A minor, trade it out for your ring finger, that's your A minor, and then you just slide it up 2 frets, bar on 2, A minor shape in front, that's your B minor on ukulele. E7 again, and that's it. So one of the things we talk about is as we're playing duets, and I do this with the advanced students too. I don't give you necessarily the accompaniment chords because part of it's a test, right? Part of it's, hey, do you know your D chord on ukulele when you're playing with a baritone player? And so you will go through and you'll find those chords you don't know, and then go look them up, right? We have the chart that you got on day 1, and most every chord that you're going to need is in there somewhere. There are a few jazz chords that show up, but that aren't in there. But for the most part, that little chord chart should help you learn those chords. And there are no chords in foundations that you're not going to need down the road. So every single chord comes up again somewhere down the road. All right. Baritone players, I think mainly Mary. Let's play the tough uke 2 times through. Ukulele players, do what you can to accompany us. 3 beats per measure. 1, 2. little bit different ending, right? Instead of playing the low G and then adding the high 10, I just gave you the high chord, mixed it all together. So yeah, there we go. Isn't that lovely? Align with that's it, guys. That's all I know. That's my favorite arrangement in the Foundation series, even of the songs I've written. This is just beautiful. It's just very pleasant. No need to rush on it. Trying just to make the notes steady, capture what you've done in the past, and or what you've listened to in the past, and sort of gotten it pretty close to that. I think. I've had any number of students present this. On the last night of the face-to-face classes I used to offer here, we would have the play a song for us night, and lots of people played Home on the Range because it's just lovely. And I had several people memorize it, especially people from who grew up in rural areas. They're like, oh yeah, I want to know how to play that song. So there we go. Guys, I hope hope that's making sense. Again, we're working at pretty high levels, so we're working at playing chords, a pretty complex set of chords, a melody, combining those together. Again, it doesn't matter if you can do it at the speed that I do it. It matters that you know what you're supposed to do, and then can begin to noodle around with that and begin to get comfy with it. And so, lots and lots of just continuing to grind it out, keep showing up, practice a little bit at home, that sort of thing, and I think pretty soon you're going to be super delighted with where we end up. We got 2 more weeks of this class, and then you'll be ready. Then you'll be off to do that. So let's see. Q says, what I've heard about the second is all the way from just sore arm and crabby mood, me really lousy, not often. Yeah, I think, that's probably what I'm having, Q. The first day was not terrible. Yesterday was terrible. And then today, much better. So, and so I'm delighted that we're all able to get this. So hopefully we're going to be safe at some point. Mary, you're welcome. Good to see you. Rob, yep, thanks, Rob. I will. I'll go take a 5-minute nap before the next class. Vic, thanks for being here. Linda, thanks for your pointing out that I'm playing with the wrong sheet music. I'm going to try to align those 2 pieces of sheet music. There's a few differences that don't need to be there. So thanks for helping me out with that. Valerie, good to see you as always. And who else logged in? Nancy. Did I say hi to everybody? I think that's everybody. Who'd I miss? I missed somebody. No, I think I got everybody. All right. So thank you all for being here. Keep playing. Keep showing up. You will be a great ukulele player at the end of your days. And this is where it all begins. So thanks for being here. I will see you mañana. Oh, by the way, you should come by and play in next hour. Kumbaya and This Little Light of Mine. Come do those ones with us. They'll be fun.